Now, today, in breaking news, Manning released another statement to the public announcing plans to live as a woman under the name Chelsea Manning. Just after the sentencing on Wednesday, before this latest announcement, independent journalist Alexa O'Brien sat down with Manning's attorney, David Coombs, for Coombs' first interview about the case. Alexa O'Brien was one of only a handful of journalists to cover the entire Manning trial, there every single day. She was the first to make transcripts of the proceedings publicly available. We'll spend the rest of the hour airing this exclusive interview.
Mr. Coombs, Bradley Manning was convicted of 20 offenses and just sentenced to 35 years. What is your reaction?
Well, I look at the sentence and I can't believe that was actually the sentence he received. Anyone who sat through the hearing, heard all the evidence, even in the closed sessions, there's not evidence there where you would think 35 years would be the appropriate sentence. I wonder now if there had actually been damage, or if he had really intended to harm the United States, or if he wanted to obtain personal gain from selling classified information, just what the sentence would have been. Because this was a person who had true intentions. He wanted to help America. He wanted to get people to think about what was going on in Iraq. And he didn't have an evil motive in what he did. You heard from the sentencing his background, his story, and yet that was the sentence he received.
And how is Bradley Manning?
Interestingly, he was the person who had probably the most cheerful mood afterwards. There were a lot of people who were very upset. He said, "Hey, it's okay. It's all right. I know you did everything you could for me. Don't cry. Be happy. It's fine. This is just a stage in my life. I'm moving forward. I will recover from this." So it was odd that I wasn't the person who was trying to comfort him. It was just the opposite.
My sense, I don't know Bradley Manning, but my sense is that he's grown up through this court-martial process. He is actually quite a strong character in the courtroom. And he is, and I've described him as being incredibly earnest. I really think, it's the best way I can describe the sort of sense of sincerity that I get from hearing him testify. What's your sense of Bradley Manning? How have you seen him grow through this process?
Oh, he definitely has matured. When I first met him 3 years ago, it was a young man who, still very idealistic, but when he had to explain certain things of what his thought process was, he had sometimes trouble articulating how he was feeling. It was clear he had these feelings, and it was clear he was sincere, but he couldn't really talk about it. He also wasn't a person who really knew how to connect with others, because he was so used to being judged. So even though he was very caring, he would have difficulty whenever you got onto a personal level with him. I think over the years, the 3 years that I represented him, I've seen all those barriers break down. He is not just a client, he's a friend. And to see him mature over the last 3 years gives me great hope for him in the future. And that's really why I believed an appropriate sentence would have been one that got him back to society sooner rather than later, because he has so much to offer. He's really somebody who in life didn't have a lot of opportunities, didn't have a lot going for him, and in spite of that, he turned out to be the type of person that he is, somebody who puts people first, who cares about people, even when these people don't care about him. And that's the amazing thing when you see what he does. His conduct really does back up his beliefs.
Bradley Manning's attorney, David Coombs, being interviewed by journalist Alexa O'Brien. We'll be back in 30 seconds.